We want to mount this engine block onto the engine stand. And to make it easier, what we'll do is we'll take off the head here with the arms, which connects to the engine block, and we'll take this over to the bench. Then we'll attach it to the engine block and bring the whole thing back, and then it will be easy to fit this on the stand. We just slide the whole thing in there. So we're going to bolt these arms onto the engine block. If you're doing this with your own engine, you want to look at the engine block and work out which areas you need to get access to and which areas you can obscure basically by bolting them to the stand. So for us, this side, there's nothing that we're going to need to get access to in the rebuild at all. So I'm going to use this side to mount the thing to. We've got bosses, various bosses here on the block. We already tapped a couple out that weren't being used, so I know we've got good threads. And I've got 4 bolts that are a good length to go into the block, which are long enough to pass through these arms, which are long enough to pass through these arms here. You can bolt to the engine basically anywhere that's strong, any hole that looks good and threaded and strong. And ideally, with 4 arms, you want a mounting in each corner of the block. Unfortunately, on this block, we've got a bit of a dead zone here where there's nowhere to mount to. We've got a good hole here and in these corners, but nothing here. It's okay, this is a light enough block. So rather than use just 3 arms, I'll use 4, and we'll use a sort of awkward looking maneuver to get this on. The easiest thing to do here is with these arms loose, just put this in position and just arrange it around until you find something that looks suitably secure. So I found the position that I'm quite happy with. It's not perfect, but it's certainly going to be strong enough. What I'm going to do now is just drop 1 bolt and a couple of washers as spacers through one of these arms just to keep us in position. Now you'll be able to see that the block's actually at an angle, so this thing is not sitting straight. So what I'll do is on these 2 bosses, I'm just going to insert some nuts just to space that and get it closer to level. It doesn't need to be absolutely level, but the more close to level it is, the easier it will be to work on. And we'll drop these in. This won't need a spacer. I've got my arms in the right positions. I've just finger tightened the bolts there. I'm quite happy with that. Ideally, you're aiming to get the central shaft roughly on the center of mass of the engine to make it easy to rotate around. But with a light engine like this, it's going to make very little difference. So what I'll do now, tighten these down and then tighten up the arms in the center here. We've still got a little bit of wiggle room, and we'll put it back on the stand, which is my exercise for the day. I should have put the brakes on. And we're in. That's good. Quite balanced. So now we've got the engine on the stand, we can use this bar to rotate it round. And maybe you have a permanently attached handle on yours. We can rotate that around, get to every part, and when we're in the right position, we can lock the engine with a little locking pin, stop it from rotating anymore. Good and solid.